Good morning, world. It's Ivan Amara. It's coming at 10 o'clock. Hope you guys enjoyed my show I made yesterday. I'm off today, so yeah, I'm off today. Ivan, you applied to dishwashing place? Yeah, I did. Yesterday, I applied to the dishwashing at Shadow Cartier at the hotel. Yeah, obviously. Ivan, if they call you, will you quit Coco Fruity if you get the job? Yeah, I will, because working at a hotel, you get benefits. You get dental benefits, and after I finish my shift, I can go swimming there too. I can go to the gym. I probably get I might get a discounted price for the gym, or even the pool, swimming in the pool, which is nice working at a hotel. But I don't want to do dishes, but I'd rather work at that hotel than work at Coco Fruity, right? That's my point. And I can get my full time hours, my 5 days a week. Because Coco Fruity, I don't work 5 days a week anymore. I work like 3 days a week. Yeah. Local food, yeah, I only work 3 days a week. The boss cut my hours because the restaurant's slow right now. Used to be full time. Yeah, 2023 when I worked at Local Food, I was full time. I worked 5 days a week, sometimes even 6 days a week. And then starting 2024 when I got a job at Dinty's, he cut my hours. I was working on average 3 days a week. Yeah, I was working 3 days a week. Yeah. So what's the job you hope to get? Cineplex. I want to work at a movie theater. The dishwashing job at the hotel, I won't mind working there, obviously, but I'm gonna make sure they give me full time hours. I need like 5 days a week. So I make my 800, $900. I can save my money and get my book proof for it, obviously. Yeah, yeah. So Sarah, Ivan, when do you think we'll be paying the fee? Probably the late 2020s, late 2029, maybe 2030, around in 2031. The early 30s, late 20s, I pay the fee when I'm close to turning 40, right? I pay the fee. Yeah. Yeah. How long will it take you to pay via that? I don't know. It might take me a few years, maybe 2 years, 3 years, a year, maybe 2 years to pay the fee, maybe 3 years, maybe. I don't know. I should be king around like 2033 around there. I'm king. When I'm like 41, I'm king. I'll be starting Skies Entertainment in 2034. So yeah, it's not that long from now, guys. You're taking for granted, man. Yeah. And I'll be making I'll be experiencing the fame from my book sales, my book, the success of my book, raving reviews behind the scenes, and the billions I make off the book. I'm gonna start Scott's name with BJ. We're gonna make that Zane's with me. Yeah, yeah. Make Zane's for $2.1 billion, 700 million per volume. That's why Peter Jackson's all shocked. You're making each volume for $700 million. You're giving me that kind of budget. I'm like, yeah. He's like, holy shit. That's unlimited, Ivan. I know, Peter. And you're putting $400 million towards specialized vision effects? I'm like, yeah. He's like, holy shit. Looking at a unheard war. That will blow my Helmsley War out of the water, yeah. Some center. He's all shocked, Peter. Mel Gibson was shocked too. Because I gave him, I signed him to a mega deal. They're making a lot of money, and I'm also giving them an unlimited budget, man. $700 million. So Peter has unlimited resources for the movie. He can do whatever he wants for the movie. Yeah, Peter Jackson. Yeah. He's like, Ivan, the stuff we're gonna get is blowing. We can get the best stuff, all the best stuff. We can pimp out the cameras. I'm gonna pimp out the cameras too. Peter, can we pimp the cameras? Yeah, Ivan. We can update the focus. We can update the sound, the speaker for it. And you're also releasing on 4K Blu-ray on top of that, the 4K Blu-ray technology on top of that. Ivan, looking at her experience at home, Ivan. If they put money into a theater system, I know. Your company blows how the water are. I know. 4K Blu-ray, Ivan. I'm like, yeah, Peter, 4K Blu-ray. Ivan, can I give it more than that box set? I'm like, no, Peter. $700 million of the film profits is enough. I'm not paying more money. Stop being greedy, man. You're already taking quite a bit of my money. I'm not going to pay more money. You greedy pig, yeah. It's delighted. I'm just messing you. Yeah, Peter, stop being greedy. Yeah. What job do you think you'll most likely get that you apply to? Probably the dishwashing one. They're gonna call me, obviously, because dishwashing is an easy job to get, right? Or maybe not. I don't know. If I do get the job at Shadow Cars as a dishwasher, I'll quit Coco Fruity, and I'll get my bike fixed immediately. I'm at next paycheck. I might just get my bike fixed. That way, if I get that job, I can drive my bike to Dinty's, obviously. And Shadow Cartier if I get the job. Shadow Cartier is quite a bike ride. That's like an 18-minute bike ride, right? 19-minute bike ride. Whereas Dindy's is like a 12, 13-minute bike ride, right? Yeah. Shadow Cartier is further ahead. Like further ahead. Like by walk, it's another 15-minute. It's like an 18-minute walk from Dinty's. Shadow Cartier. I can't walk to Shadow Cartier. That's way too far. Obviously, when you walk back home from Shadow Cartier, no, Shadow Cartier, I have to take the bus. It's too far. Dinty's, I can walk. It's not that bad. It's like 40 minutes. Shadow Cartier is like a 1 hour walk, man. From home, that's way too far. No, I'll take the bus back in the wintertime. In the summertime, I'll bike there. Fall, wintertime, I take the bus, obviously. Yeah. If I get the job, right? Yeah. That's why the case is not touching VJ's money. The family's not touching our money, man. This is our money, it's not yours. You won't let VJ be successful. You're gonna do me too. I'm an idiot, man. The billions off the book is for me, VJ. It's not for you. Some Sarah? Yeah. Jeez, Ivan, how much money we got for the book, by the way? I made $12.5 million. You made $12.5 billion off your book with a B? Are you sure it's not 1.2 billion? No, VJ. I called the automatic voice message. It says I have 12 billion in my bank. Yeah. I'm like, you don't believe me, VJ? Okay, I take my Scotiabank card. I call the bank. I say account balance, and the automatic voice message says you have 12.5 billion in your bank. Yeah, he's like, holy shit, Ivan, you're not lying. You actually did make $12.5 million. Holy shit, that's a lot of money. I know. She's shocked. She doesn't know it's like that kind of money. Are you gonna share that with me? I'm like, yes, I will. Relax. I'm gonna share the money with you. Are you gonna share the money with you, VJ? I share money with you. Yeah, you gotta share the money with you, VJ. That's how it works. Some Sarah. You gotta share the money with you, VJ. That's how it works. Yeah, that's how it works. Some Sarah. Ivan, we can build that dream house. I know. VJ, do you want to buy an existing house in Vancouver or you want to build it? No, Ivan, let's build it, man, the way we want it. Yeah, build it brand new the way we want it with a Batman cave garage, a Batman garage, our indoor pool, our jacuzzi room, our private office room, our big living room, our terrace, yeah, our garage. Yeah, something fucking nice, man. $550 million. That's like incredibles, man. Something unheard of. Yeah. We can start that film studio. I know we can start that film studio. And fund Xanus for $2.1 million worth of money. We can get John Maega, Von Jose, Jimo Hantu, Andy Serkis, Peter Jackson, all them out of the Hollywood system. We can pay them more than what they make in Hollywood. As those guys sign mega deals, you guys know how much money I want to pay them. All the Xanus are signed massive contracts, man. Mega deals, yeah. Massive fucking contracts. Yeah, man. John Maega signed a $20 million deal, man. He signed a mega deal. I'm paying him $9 million for the movie. He gets $8 million. I can pay him $8.5 million for the film process, right? 9 plus 8.5. He gets $250K. Yeah, 9 plus 8.5 is 17.5 million. And he gets $250K for the promos. That's 17.75 million. He gets $1 million and he gets 1.9 million for the game. That's 19.4. Obviously, and he'll make his. Let's say he makes $1 million in speaking. So John Maega signed that his $20.4 million deal. 19.5 to like 20 points. Guaranteed I will be going speaking. And John Maega will make his like $1 million in speaking. So he signed that $20.4 million deal. Fucking massive contract. That's how much Avis is making now. He's like, holy shit, that's a huge deal. He's like, sign me up, man. It's a deal, man. John Maega says that, yeah. And all the actors are like, holy shit, John Maega signed a massive like $20 million deal. Yeah, he signed a huge deal, man. I told us that, man. I'm like, no, John, you get 9. I'm not paying you total. Stop being greedy, some song. His agent might push for more. Yeah, his agent might push for maybe 10, 11, 12 million for John for his base, and more for the real. They're gonna try and push for more for the back end money because that's where the real money is, right? What about like 18 million for John Maega? I'm like, no, John's not worth that, man. He gets 8.5. If he's worth like his 18, 19, 20 million, I can give him 10, a bit more. He signed like a 22 million deal, right? Which is like a 13 million deal in his pounds. He signed a mega. That's how much age is right in Hollywood, yeah. Yeah. John Maaga's like, it's a deal, man. He signs that contract. That huge contract, yeah. And you get the news. John Maega is cast with Antonius. You get his deal, 9 million base, 8.5 million the film profits, 1.9 million for the game, 250K for the promos, and speaking earnings, which can range from 600K to $1 million, $1.3 million plus in earnings. And guaranteed the actors are going to make their million plus in speaking fee earnings. That's why the agents want a piece of that too. Yeah, I mean, if John Mayer goes speaking and he makes $1 million, we want our cut of that too, our 10%, 50%, whatever it is. Yeah, they want their cut because they're greedy pigs, the Hollywood actors, agents, and managers are greedy pigs. Yeah, they want a piece of everything. Yeah. Who signed the biggest deal for your movie, Ivan? Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande, she signed the biggest deal. As well as Don Cheadle, he signed a mega deal too. Yeah. But if I choose Russell Crowe, he signed the biggest contract. Russell Crowe signed like his 90 million Canadian, which is $100 million deal, man. If he's chosen, he signed a mega $100 million deal, Russell Crowe. So he signed a mega deal. The same deal as Robert Downey Jr., right? $100 million deal. But his agent might want maybe $100 million for profits. I'm like, no, Russell Crowe's not worth that. He gets 55. Ivan, what about like $1 million for the promos? I'm like, you guys are getting greedy, man. I'm not gonna pay Russell Crowe $1 million for the promos, man. Stop being greedy, guys. You're gonna affect my budget, man. You guys understand their base salary and their promo money is paid through the $410 million budget. I can't afford to pay like all 12 to stars $1 million in other promos. You're gonna drain my budget. They're not worth that. They get a couple $100,000, man. That's good enough. In Hollywood, sometimes they don't even get paid for that, according to Google, as I showed you, right? Yeah. Yeah, so we're just messing, man. We're just greedy. We're being greedy assholes. It's a deal. That's like Russell Crowe doesn't even make this all. Yeah, Russell Crowe makes his 15, 20, 8 in Hollywood. I signed him to a $100 million deal. It's a fucking massive contract for Russell Crowe, right? Yeah. That's why I mean, we're gonna be boss, man. We're paying the Hollywood actors their fucking salary, man. Yeah. He's like, yeah, even though Russell Crowe, if I choose Russell Crowe, signed a $100 million deal, like that's pocket change compared to how much money we're making. Yeah, Russell Crowe, even though he signed a mega deal, it's chump change compared to how much money me and Meech are making, man. We're the fucking big boss, man. We're making way more than everyone else. Peter signed a $1.4 million deal. That's pocket change to our deal, right? As me and Meech are going to make our 20, 25 billion off the movie version game. You compare that to the $100 million Russell Crowe is making and Peter's $1.4 million deal. It's pocket change, right? That's why Peter Jackson wants a bigger chunk of the pie. Even though he knows he signed a massive deal, he knows he's still making chump change compared to how much money me and Meech are making. That's why he wants more money. I'm like, no, Peter, I'm not paying more money. You're not as big as me, Meech. That's why I'm making way more than you. What I'm paying you is enough. We don't make this in Hollywood. This is more than what you made for The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Stop being greedy, Peter. Alright, it's a deal, Ivan. I'm just messing with you, man. This is more than what I made for The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings combined. Yes, Peter, you signed the biggest contract ever for a director. And to accept my deal, it's a deal, Ivan, yeah. That's a lot of gold, Ivan. I know, Peter, it's a lot of gold. You happy? I'm happy that deal, Ivan. Thank you, man. You're very generous. And you also gave me on the budget. Yes, Peter, I gave you on the budget for the trilogy, right? For the movie trilogy. Peter's agent will be shocked. Holy shit, Ivan. Like, you're very generous, man. You signed Peter to a $1.1 billion deal. Holy shit, that's a lot of money, Ivan. Yeah, Ivan, it's a deal, Ivan, man. Peter doesn't even make this in Hollywood. This is more than what he made for Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Yes. This is more than what Peter made for Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. His agent told me, Ivan, that's a good deal for us. Sign Peter up, you know what I'm saying? Peter accepts that deal, he signs that mega deal. You get the announcement. Peter signs $1.1 million deal for Sky's Entertainment for the Xanus movie. I have all the directors like, holy shit, Peter signed a mega deal. Yeah, he signed a mega deal, Peter. You're doing promos all with the magazines and the commercials and everything, and Sky's Entertainment News. I'm like, yeah, they interview us. I'm like, yeah, Peter. He's like, holy shit, I can't wait to be a part of that, Ivan. Can I get a bit more of that for the promos, Ivan? I'm like, no, Peter, 500K is enough. I'm not paying more money. Stop being greedy, Samsara. Yeah. So the promos will help build buzz. Yeah, you see the magazine pictures featured and interview the stars. Second year, and first year they interview me, VJ in the 7th team, and Peter, Fran, Guillermo Toro, and all of them. First year. And second year they interview me, VJ, Guillermo Toro, Peter, and the stars. Only first year is the producers. Then second year, third year, and fourth year is all about the stars. And Peter and Guillermo Toro are my directors, obviously. With the 7th team, I'm not going to interview them second, third, fourth year. Just the first year. It's about the producers. Second year, it's about the actors. Me, VJ, and the two directors, Peter and Guillermo Toro, or Mel Gibson and his assistant director, right, whoever I choose. Sorry? Yeah. Yeah. So when you get that check, you're gonna cry. Oh yeah, I'm gonna cry because I know what hell I went through just to make this money, man. You guys are crazy people. Yeah, I have to go through all that horror just to make my money, man. And I don't know what it's like to be rich, man. That's why when I get that check, I'm gonna cry because I get my $1,200 check and I cry because I know what hell I went through just to make this money. I never had this kind of money ever in my life because the gates locked the doors on me. Yeah, and I'll finally hear my mind. I'm like, yeah, Father, even though I hate the keys and everyone hates me with the keys, I now understand why you gave me the keys. Yes, I gave you the keys that way you can get your freedom and get VGL fresh yourself. Even though the world made you pay, you get VGL fresh yourself. And you guys get the glowing beauty. I gave you all genetic purge, you get the glowing beauty, you stay young forever. And you guys are going to be smoking hot, and now you get to live the multi-year life with your wife. And you control your own money for your movie and your merch and your game. The gays don't touch your money. I have the keys. I can sell to them. You know. The gatekeepers have to honor their deal. I made a deal with the devil. I didn't sell to you. Now you have to let me my money. And you can't touch my money. They have to honor their deal. Yeah, we can't touch Ivan's money. He didn't sell to us. A deal's a deal. Fuck, man. This pisses me off, man. Like, I want to fucking control his money, but he didn't sell to us. We have to let him make his money. We can't touch his money. Yes, you can't touch my money, man. I did not sell to you. And the Zane's brand's mine. It's now mine, and the gates won't touch my money. And hence why VJ cries, because she wants to control the money with me. She doesn't want to be under the gates with a shitty career making, I don't know, $400K for her movies and doing all these guest roles in these television shows. No, she wants to be an A-list actor with me. A-list movie star with me, right, for movies. Most famous actors in the world right now. Yeah. 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 So Peter has help with payroll. Yeah, Peter, I need you to help me with payroll. I'm not helping with payroll. Help me sign the stars and the crewmen first year, and the cinematographers and the visual effects team. Yeah, and he also has to help me with the screenplay, the script, and the concept arts, and he has to help me with the main business goals. Obviously, when we buy all the stuff, right? Purchase all the stuff, rent it. I'm gonna be renting most of the stuff. The set building stuff, I'll have my presence handle that. But like everything else, the cameras, the IMAX cameras you can't purchase. You have to rent them. So we're gonna rent a good maybe 17 cameras for the movie. That's enough. And the drones, the equipment for the cameras, lighting equipment, sound equipment, all that stuff. The hotel party at the Burnshaw Resort, the red carpet event, I'm gonna host a red carpet event there. Peter has to help with all that. The food for the buffet, yeah. For the catering, yeah. The visual effects equipment, yeah. He's like, you're serving the cast and crew that kind of food. I'm like, yeah. He's like, holy shit, that's a luxury buffet. I know Peter's a luxury buffet. Something unheard of. Yeah, that's why the actors are getting spoiled for Xanus, right? And you're gonna see them bragging in the documentary. Yeah, today I'm gonna have my cereal with my scrambled eggs, with my French toast, with my sausage and bacon and my potatoes. And afterwards, I'm gonna have some strudels with bacon or something like that. Yeah, they're bragging. They're getting spoiled for breakfast. And even the better one is even the dinner one. They're getting spoiled, the actors, yeah. And they're gonna demolish the menu obviously, because they're gonna be hungry, right? Yeah, the Lord of the Rings Hobbit crewmen and the Xanadu stars, once they film, when it's time to eat, they're all going to be very hungry. Hence why they're going to eat like, most people are going to eat like 2.5, even 3 plates. 2.5 plates. That's why the whole thing will get demolished. There'll be very little leftovers for the extras. Maybe enough for maybe 50 extras and that's it. 100 extras and that's it. And the food's all done. Because I didn't order the food for the extras, I ordered for the cast and crew. But the actors are going to be staring. Hopefully, there's other ones for us because they want a piece of that menu. You're looking at delicious food, man. Delicious food, yeah, man. Delicious food. Yeah. 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 So Peter Jackson will make a good movie, yeah, because all the ideas that I have about the movie, I'm gonna let him know. All the ideas he has, he lets me know, and we co-wrote the screenplay together. That's why we have the same vision. We did the concepts together, and we have the same vision. Peter will want to understand what kind of movie I want to make, obviously, because we wrote the screenplay together. And Peter's all prepped, and he took his notes. We got him all tour. That's why during production he's prepped. He will not be lost. He knows what he has an idea for every single scene because he took his notes. Peter has like a big thick book of all his notes, and he studies his notes. And he's prepped. He doesn't wing it like he did for The Hobbit, obviously. As a Hobbit, Peter had very little time to prep. That's why you have to wing it. But for someone who winged it, he did a good job. As the first two Hobbit movies are actually good movies. 7.5 out of 10 movies. They were good. They're not like great like Lord of the Rings, but they were good. They were pretty good movies, obviously. Was the third movie was not that good, obviously. Battle for Armies was not that good, but Devastation of Smog and Unexpected Journey were pretty entertaining, fun movies to watch. They're pretty good movies. I've seen the movies quite a few times. They're good movies. That's how you know Peter's a talented director. He winged it, and the movies were still good. The first two. Was the third movie his winging it copped in. The Battle for Armies was not bad. It wasn't terrible. It was okay, but it wasn't that good compared to Desolation of Smog and Unexpected Journey, right? Yeah. Samsara. I'd say Peter's talented, obviously. He's a good director. He winged it, and his first two movies were still pretty good. They're still good movies. But the third one was a crapshoot. It wasn't that good. The war wasn't that great. And yeah, Battle for Armies, I did not like that much on theaters, man. I was really bored watching it. I did not like it. Devastation of Smog, I enjoyed on theaters. But Battle for Armies, I did not enjoy. Because I saw 2 and 3 on theaters. 1, I did not see on theaters. But 2 and 3, I saw on theaters. I remember I watched Battle for Armies on theaters, and I also watched Devastation of Smog on theaters. I remember that during the holiday season, right? Yeah, I watched it on theaters. Yeah. What's your favorite of the 3? Devastation of Smog is my favorite. But you can argue Unexpected Journey is better, but I like Devastation of Smog better because you get introduced to the elves and the spiders and everything, and Smog. That's just Smog I like better than Unexpected Journey. Unexpected Journey is a close second. The worst one is Battle for Armies. Battle for Armies was not that good. It was not that good for movies, I'm sorry. Yeah. Because Peter winged it, obviously. That's why you see a difference in Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit when you watch. Lord of the Rings is by far the better trilogy. Because Peter was prepped. But The Hobbit, you see the technology is better, obviously. You see a difference in technology, obviously. Lord of the Rings looks a little bit more cheesy compared to The Hobbit. The Hobbit, the technology of it is amazing. But Peter, for The Hobbit, he had full-on CGI orcs. Whereas for Lord of the Rings, they were practical orcs. Obviously. And you see a difference in the battle scenes in Lord of the Rings compared to The Hobbit. The Lord of the Rings has much better battle scenes. It looks more natural, was The Hobbit's so computery, man. That's why I don't want that computery look for Xanus, Peter. I don't want... Peter might push a full giant haircut. I'm like, no, Peter, I don't want full giant haircut. So you want the actor wearing a prosthetic mask? Yes, like your Lord of the Rings. But I don't want the wolves looking too natural. The Lord of the Rings, the orcs look way too natural. I don't want them looking too natural. I want to mix it with the visual effects. They look amazing, but they also look a bit more natural. So you want to mix it, I think? Yeah, that's why I'm pouring on the money towards special effects and visual effects, Peter. Okay, obviously you're saying, yeah. So you want it like Lord of the Rings, they wear was like masks, it's an update mask, not like the mask that the characters wore in Lord of the Rings. Peter's like, yeah, Ivan, that was in the 90s. Like, technology is much better for masks, Ivan. We can create the best masks in the business. Yeah, something better than even that Delvian animal. So a mask that looks very updated, even better than that Delvian animal, when we apply the visual effects awards that they're devils. They look amazing, but they also look a bit more natural. So Peter's like, Ivan, so you don't want full CGI for Eritad? No, Peter. I don't like the full CGI look, man. It looks too computery. I don't like your Azog look. Because if you have full CGI, you're gonna get a war like The Hobbit, man. Whereby it looks way too computery. I want it more something like Helm's Deep here. Okay, I mean, what you're saying. Yeah. You compare Helm's Deep to the Battle for Armies War, you see a huge difference in quality, right? The Helm's Deep War blows the Battle for Armies War out of the water. The Battle for Armies War was not that good. It was terrible. It looked way too computery. I don't like that look, Peter. when they show the flashbacks with Azog and Thorin's father, when Thorin's father gets killed, you remember the flashback? Yeah, it looked very computery. I don't like that look, Peter, and hence why don't rent digital IMAX cameras. Rent film ones, otherwise you're gonna get that hover look. So Sarah, yeah, it's very important. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go upstairs and get my coffee. I'll be back in a sec. Scared me, don't laugh aloud. You guys join the show. Don't hate me, son. Alrighty, guys, I'm back. I'm 258 now, guys. You down 258? Yeah. Because I do the fasting, right? My fasting thing's working, right? I don't eat breakfast. I don't eat lunch. I just eat one meal at dinner, and that's it. That's how I lose weight. I also work. That's how I drop my weight. I'm 258 right now. It's just working, obviously. I'm in the 250s now, finally, right? I should hit like 240, 238 by the end of the year, around 235 maybe. And if I do, I'll post my first pictures, obviously. I'll have my younger brother take pictures of me and I post it on X, or I'll try to do a YouTube thing, but I have to figure out how to do it, obviously. Yeah. Got my girlfriend too. Don't hate me, Jim said, you know. Yeah. So the Gray Escape will have the same technology as Xanus, obviously, right? Because no, it won't. Because I'm putting less money towards the movie. Because I'm actually paying big stars, so it's going to affect more of my budget. But the Gray Escape will almost have as good technology as Xanus, right? Because I'm making it for $700 million too, the one movie, right? So you're looking at something unheard of. But because I'm paying, the salary cap is more affected. Obviously, like the Gray Escape, I'm putting in good maybe 60 million towards the movie, and the rest goes to salaries. So it will not, the technology will not be as good as Zane's, but it'll be something unheard of. Whereas Zane's, I'm putting more money towards the movie, obviously. So I'm saying, like the Gray Escape, I'm only putting a good 150 million around there towards visual effects. So you're looking at relevant technology too, but it's not like Zane's, right? But you're looking at something better technology than James Bond and Mission Impossible, right? Because I'm making for more money. Yeah. Yeah, Gray Escape, I'll put a good 150 to 200 million towards visual effects. So it's half the amount of Zane's. And so it will not be as high end as Zane's, but it'll still be something unheard of with the movie with Keanu Reeves and Matt Damon and Ben Affleck and Scarlett Johansson. Looking at an amazing movie, obviously. Yeah. So all the agents are gonna call your office when your office over business. Oh yeah, all the agencies are calling. Even the big agencies like William Morris Endeavor and all that stuff, they're calling my office trying to get their actors to work for Zane's. It's crazy. And all the chosen Zane stars, their agents are gonna call my office. Yeah, and then my secretaries will tell them, yeah, Ivan's considering John Vega as his first choice for Tacitonius. Ivan's considering Yvonne Joji as his first choice for Papyri. Ivan is considering Ji Won-soo for his first choice for Cassius. Taki's the first for Idris Elba, Angelina Bassett for Queen Sarah, Joe for Andy Serkis. You see what I'm saying? And then like Russell Crowe and Timothy Chalamet, their agents are gonna call too. Daniel Kaluuya's agents are gonna call. They're gonna try their best to get their actors work. Yeah, these are Ivan's like other secondary choices. They're gonna be competing. They have to send the reels, and the actors have to follow the instructions. They send the reels obviously. Some Sarah. Yeah. I don't believe you. I don't believe that. What? That your book is better than Game of those other rings. When you guys read sections of my book, and when you read those books and you read my book, what story's more entertaining when you read it? The Last of Xanus is more entertaining to read, right? I wrote the better book than those guys. My stepmother told me my book's #1, which means it's number one in the world. And you guys don't understand why she says #1. There's something unique about my writing style. The characters jump on the page, the world building jumps on the page. Even though my world building is vague, the world building still jumps on the page because the characters make it feel real when they speak. Are you saying there's another passage to the north? Yeah, there is. It's due west of here, in the mountain of Gilead. Hold it. There's more to be said about the cave. There's legends of creatures, drawing devils that live there. And Tacitus is like, why? He's like, the bats. And he's laughing. He's like, I think me, Cassius, and Tacitus can handle some worthless bats. And then Cornelius is like, Tacitus, these are no ordinary bats, Tacitus. They are big and fierce. They can kill even you, one who's trained the arts. They are devils. He's like, oh, come on, we can take them. And Cassius is like, Tass, listen to them. The words might bring us and for advice on our journey. I felt sick. I know my book is sick, man. It's a sick book. It's a sick book, listen. You know, I mean, it's very entertaining. Yeah, like the characters on the beach. I know my book is sick, man. Yeah. What volume do you think fans like the most? Either volume 3 or volume 2, but I think most fans will like volume 2 because volume 2 is the bridge chapter between volume 1 and volume 2. It's the bridge volume, obviously. And you can argue the dialogue flows the best in volume 2 compared to volume 3. Volume 3 is a little bit more raw when you read it. But because all the crazy shit happens and all the stuff that blows your mind away happens in volume 3, you can argue volume 3 is better. I think volume 3 is better by a bit, and volume 2 is a close second. And volume 1 is the worst because volume 1 is just about the story. Like, volume 1 is when it builds up to all the crazy stuff happening in volume 2 and volume 3. That's why it's the worst one. But volume 1 is still entertaining too, as I showed you guys. The Cleo Francis Sebastian scene, that's volume 1. The scene when Tactics is like, it was nice talking to you too, Harlot. That's volume 1. The prologue is volume 1. Young Tactics is volume 1. What was Cyrus and more? That's volume 1. But it's the buildup of everything happening. That's why it's the worst volume, in my opinion. But some fans might like volume 1, but it's not highly doubt though. It's gonna be volume 1, volume 2, or volume 3. The fans like the best. Some fans will argue, no, I like volume 3 better because volume 3 blows my mind away. But you can argue volume 2 has more of the hook with the dialogue. But volume 3 has more of the hook with the climax of the story and it blows your mind away. That's why you can argue volume 2 is better. You can also argue volume 3 is better. It just depends how the art hits you. I like volume 3 the best. But some fans might like volume 2 better. Depends. I think most fans will like volume 2 the best. And volume 3, a lot of fans will say it's the best. And volume 1, most fans will say it's the worst. But some fans might even like volume 1 the best, right? It just depends how the art hits you. Art hits everyone different ways, right? Yeah, exactly. Art hits everyone different ways. Yeah. I'm too lazy to clean my room today. I'll clean it during the weekend. Maybe Sunday I'll clean it. I'm too lazy to clean my room today. My room's a mess though. I'm fucking lazy. I don't feel like cleaning my room today. Yeah. What movie do you think would be the best? I think they're all going to be equally as good. It's going to be tough to choose. But I think Volume 3 would be the best. That's when you get the huge exodus like Prince of Egypt, the battle in the caverns, the demon bats, you have a big war in the end, and the plot gets deep, man. That's why pretty much tell me, yeah, I think Volume 3 will be your best, Ivan. But you can argue Volume 2 might be better. I think they're all going to be equally as good. Looking at all three amazing movies. But it's going to be tough to choose. The fans will say, yeah, I love all of them. They're all good, man. Volume 1 was amazing. Volume 2 was amazing. Volume 3 was amazing. Yeah, they're all equally just as good for the movies. For the books, you can make a case for Volume 2 or Volume 3. But for the movie, I think they're all going to be equally as good. But Volume 3, I think, might perhaps take the cake. Because that's when the plot gets deep, man. Takis and prayer and everything. And the plot gets serious and deep. And it blows your mind away. With Ephesus and the Exodus. Eratat's army marching like Helm's Deep. Volume 3 might be the best one. Because, yeah, I think Volume 3 might be your best one, Ivan. Or Volume 2, perhaps. Yeah, Volume 2, you have a lot of the drama and the politics and everything, yeah. But Volume 2 doesn't have much action in it. The only action you have is the battle with Meramis and the Crows. And you have the captured scene battle, and that's it. With Volume 3, you have the big warning, and you have the battle in the caverns, obviously. I told you, just because the movie has the most action doesn't necessarily mean it's the best one. Like, Two Towers has the least action out of the three movies. Or you can argue Fellowship of the Ring. But yeah, Two Towers is my favorite, right? Yeah. Yeah. People tell me, yeah, I mean, all your volumes will be like equally as good, man. It's gonna be tough to choose which one's the best, man. They're all gonna be amazing movies, Ivan. I know, Peter. I enjoyed the book more than Jared Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. No, Peter's Lord of the Rings. Ivan, seriously, man, I enjoyed the book more than Jared Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. No, Peter's Lord of the Rings. Yeah, man, it's Lord of the Rings. It's a masterpiece. Yeah. Yeah. How good your book, Ivan? It's so good. It'll be a public embarrassment in the industry, and people are going to be comparing me to Mozart and Hemingway. That's how good my book is. It's a beautifully written book. Yes, I don't have the big choices of words like these other smart English guys do, but my story is more entertaining, obviously, because I told you I went on Fantasy Writers Reddit, and I read some of the stuff they post online. This Fantasy Writer Reddit is like aspiring fantasy authors, and they post their material on there and they get feedback. And I read some stuff, beautifully written, but the story's boring and it's not going anywhere. Because what they do is, those guys do, they rely on their beautiful knowledge of the English literature to wow the reader, but you're not really pushing the story forward. It's not pacing well. You're just trying to wow them with your amazing English literature. But if you do that, you're gonna bore the reader. And if you use overcomplicated words, you can also confuse the reader too. That's why it's a bit confusing when you read it. Those guys don't have the gift like me, obviously. So are you saying those guys are better writers than you? Yeah, in terms of like the knowledge of the English literature and the word choices, they're better than me, obviously. But in terms of telling a story, they're not as gifted, obviously. They don't know how to tell a good story. They don't have a gift like me. No, I understand, yeah. Some yeah, like Ivan's writing is pretty simple. He doesn't really use overcomplicated words, whereas we use all these overcomplicated words. It's a bit confusing, but like Ivan's story, something about Ivan's story is so entertaining and I'm hooked. I read my book, our material. Yeah, it's beautiful language, literature, but the story's not really going anywhere. It's not that entertaining. Yeah, because those guys don't know how to. They don't know the magic that I have. They don't have the heavenly gift like me. So I'm sorry, I don't hate you, so yeah. 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 Why did Cassius tell Francis, Cleo, and Sebastian that a Southern would not be welcome? Because he knows the Northerners don't like the Southerns. That's why he said when you arrive at the gate at the wall, tell them that Cassius sent you. Otherwise, they're not going to let you in. They're not going to let you inside the North. Obviously, the North don't like the Southerns, man. You'll see that when you read Volume 3. They have a huge dispute. It's actually funny. Yeah. The Northerners and Southerners don't like each other. It's actually funny. I'm saying, you know. Yeah. So that's why Takis had to use a fake identity. Yeah, Sirius tells Takis, your name Takis cannot be used here. Because the Southerns know about Takis the First, right? And Saphius. Your name Takis cannot be used here. They can be suspicious of you as being a Northern. They can think you're a Northern. The Southerns don't like the Northerns. And your sword hide it. They can't know who the Princess is. And you can also draw, the name Takis can draw the wolves here. You have to use a fake identity, Takis. And Takis doesn't want to use a fake identity, but he had a choice to protect himself. But he hates being Colonius the farmer boy because he knows he's a Prince of Xanus. Yeah. Yeah, right. And how could the name Takis draw the wolves there? You have the spies, Eretat spies. Yeah. In the south. I don't explain it in the book, but that's a reason you have the spies in the south, obviously, right? Yeah, that's how Eretat found out about Cassius and has toys to 50 men. The Eretat spies saw these men from the north wandering in the south, and Eretat figured it out. The Northerners will never ever come to my territory. They fear us, so why are they in my territory? And he figured it out. Yeah, the heir must be missing. He must be in the south. That's why Eretat was interrogating them. He's like, what are you doing in my territory? You are in my domain, my territory in the south. How dare you come here? What do you take me for, a fool? I know that you and your men came here looking for someone important. I'm paraphrasing, I'm saying. And Cash is like, I know nothing of what you speak. He's like, the child Tacius, born for many years ago. Sound familiar to you now? And I was like, I'm not sick, I know. Man, I should plan out the screen, man. They interrogate John Boyega and G12. In Barak, all the tens of thousands of wolves are laughing and staring at them. They're devils. And they're scared for their life. They're looking at a masterpiece, man. Yeah, because I'm looking at a masterpiece. This is Burning Lord of the Rings. Obviously, Burning Lord of the Rings. It's a masterpiece, man. Yeah. Remember that scene, Unexpected Journey, when they get captured by the goblins, and all the goblins are there, like staring at them and everything, laughing at them, and they're getting interrogated by the Goblin King. Yeah, something like that. Except they're devils, obviously. Because yeah, I'm thinking something like that scene in The Hobbit. Yeah, like you have Eretat, he's the king of the south, and yeah, obviously, Samsara. So it's darker than that. That's PG-13. Those goblins are not scary in The Hobbit, whereas the wolves in my movie are devils. They're demons and devils, I'm sorry. Yeah. Even say like that, I'll use the bathroom. Back in a sec. Scary, you don't want that for long. Alright, you guys are back. I had to use the bathroom. Yeah. Yeah. Here's I'm looking at an amazing movie like Takis has to hide his identity, and he gets thrown in a dungeon and he's on trial. I'm looking at a masterpiece, man. Holy shit, the captured scene. He's like, Ivan, this is better than my Lord of the Rings. I know Peter is better than Lord of the Rings. Peter will be shocked by my story. Yeah, I enjoyed your book more than Jared Lord of the Rings. I know Peter. It's better than Lord of the Rings. Yeah. That's like VJ. Ivan, I can't wait to play Olivia Ivan. I know VJ. Ivan, seriously, I can't wait to play your role Olivia Ivan in this movie. Yeah, VJ, you finally get to be in a big budget movie with me, man. No more shitty independent movies. I know, Ivan, yeah. I made the Blades out of the book. We can start on films with Barrett and Hollow. We can fund Xanus with our own cash. Yeah, our own money. Yeah. Samsara? VJ might tell me, Ivan, $2 billion is a bit too much. I'm like, VJ, $500 million towards the 3 movies won't cut it. We gotta put a lot of money towards it. We're gonna make our money back, VJ. We have the keys to the kingdom. We're gonna make our billions back. I don't know, our $8 billion off the movie. We spend $2 billion on the movie. We make $8 billion. We made $6 billion in profit. Well, we'll make maybe about $7 billion. If I make $8 billion, I'll make about $7 billion bucks because I have to give Peter his $700 million, and the actors are also taking a piece of it. Some members of your team, yeah. And so we'll make about $7 billion. We made $4 billion, $5 billion profit. Good investment, obviously. How much do you make our movie, Ivan? 6.5, 7, 8 billion. I make off the movie around there for Xanus, right? Or I might make more. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll know how much I make off the movie based on how much I make off my book. I make more than 25. If I make like 25, 30 billion off the book, I'm gonna make my 15 billion off the movie. Something even more. But chances are I make my 10, 14, 20, my 12 billion off the book. I'll make my 8 around there off the movie. Yeah. That's why Peter Jackson gets greedy once more. I'm like, Peter, I'm not paying more, man. You're taking a good chunk of my money. I'm not paying more money, man. This is more than what you made for the Hobbit of the Ring. Stop being greedy. It's a deal, Ivan. Yeah, you have a good deal, Peter. Samsara. Or Mel Gibson, too, if he's greedy, too. I'm not paying more money, Mel. Ivan, can I have a bit more of that? I'm like, no, Mel. What I'm paying is enough. Stop being greedy. You don't make this in Hollywood, Samsara. Yeah. Ivan, who do you think you'll choose, Mel or Peter? Somebody tells me I'm going to go for Mel Gibson, man. I like talking about Peter more, but I might end up choosing Mel Gibson over Peter, man. I'm like, VJ, somebody tells me Mel Gibson is going to make the better movie than Peter, man. He's like, yeah, I sense it too. I feel it too. Somebody tells me Mel Gibson will make the better movie because he's a Christian. He's a Catholic, right? Yeah. Obviously. Mel Gibson's good for the horror and the biblical themes in my story. Peter Jackson is good for the fantasy side of it. And that's why it's like a back and forth. They're both very good for my movie, obviously. But Peter Jackson's used to making PG-13 fantasy movies, whereas Mel Gibson's into the rated R gory stuff. And that's why he's also... Mel Gibson will be like, yeah, I want Eratat to be the most horror being ever made. Peter Jackson might push for a PG-13 wolf, maybe. Or probably not. He might tell me, no, I think Eratat should be a rated R devil wolf. Because in my book, when you read it, the Southerns the humans call Eratat the devil walking in the south, and he has to be a devil. I don't want him being a PG-13 wolf, man. It'll still be a masterpiece, but it will not be as powerful of a story. Taki's in agony for a wolf that's not that scary. Like, no, man, I want him to be a devil. Eratat to be a devil. Samsara? Yeah. Almost done, guys. I'm only gonna make like an hour and 20 video, guys. I don't feel like talking for long. Are you gonna clean your room today, Ivan? Nah, I'm lazy. I don't feel like cleaning. I'll clean it during the weekend, maybe. Like Saturday or Sunday. I'll clean it Sunday, maybe. I'll clean my room. It was a mess. But man, I bought my Chromecast. It doesn't work, man. I wasted $30 on Amazon, man. The Chromecast doesn't work. I want my other Chromecast back, but my stepfather took it, man. And now I have to watch stuff on my phone. I hate watching stuff on my phone. I'm used to watching stuff on my TV, right? Yeah. 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 I have nearly 258. Yeah, I'm 258. I'm in the 250s now. If I keep fasting, I should lose. I should get down to 240, 235 head of the year. Maybe even by August, I might hit 230, man. Yeah. You guys can tell I look a bit skinnier, right? From before. Well, 250, you don't really see a difference. Once I hit 240, you guys will start to see a difference in my weight loss, obviously. When I'm 240, Ivan looks a bit skinnier, yeah. Ivan, what do you think will be the best war in your movie? Either the scene in the caverns or the end war. The end war will probably be the best one, but the scene in the caverns is also a sick war too with the bats. Whereas the captured scene is just a small little battle with Fool and Cass and Suetonius. You also have a war involved in the prologue, but the prologue war is not as big of a war. It's a smaller war. People tell me, I think your cavern scene might be the best one, the best battle scene. Or the end war. The end war will probably be the best. But the cavern scene will be up there too, right? Because you have the civilians are all scared and everything. The Safians, yeah. And then you have the double bats living in the caverns. Because Ivan, looking at it, sick. Ooh, we're all scared with torches like Prince of Egypt. Ivan, this is a powerful story, Ivan. I know, Peter. This is Brother of the Rings. No, Peter, it's Brother of the Rings. So Peter won a bigger chunk of the world tour. Yeah, he will. He's greedy. He's Ivan, are you going to pay me more than the actors for the world tour? I'm like, no, Peter, you get an equal amount. He's like, why not? I'm like, Peter, man, you're making way more than everyone else for this movie project. You get an equal amount. If the actors make $1.3 million speaking, you get your $1.3 million speaking. I'm not paying more money. Because he knows the speaking fee is a big deal. He wants a bigger chunk of that, but he's greedy. He's a greedy pig, man, yeah. He might be pissed off, whatever, man. Fine, Ivan. I'm like, Peter, you're pissed off? Yeah, Ivan, I deserve it. I deserve more than the actors. I'm bigger now. I'm like, Peter, you're not getting more than the actors. You get an equal amount. Everybody else. Samsara. Ivan, you're greedy too. Like, you and VJ are going to make like your 10, 11, $12 million in speaking and you're giving us the peanuts. I'm not giving you the peanuts. I'm giving you like, you're going to make like your $1.3 million in speaking, Peter. Ivan, I deserve a nice like $2-3 million that Ivan. I'm like, no, Peter, I'm not paying you more money, man. You got an equal amount with the actors. I know you're greedy. You're not getting more money, man. Stop being greedy, Peter. Samsara. Yeah. Will they do one-on-one interviews with Peter? Most likely they will behind the scenes. If they do one-on-one interviews with Peter Guillermo del Toro like Peter did with the Charlie guy for Lord of the Rings, I'll have my doc team film it. I'll bring 3 cameramen on my doc crew and they film it. But the main event when we speak in front of the crowd, thousands of fans, I'm not filming that. Only the cast interviews behind the scenes, and they interview Peter one-on-one. They interview me and VJ and the actors. That stuff I can film. But the main event thing, I'm not going to film it. You guys get what you deserve, man. You want to keep behind the scenes, you get what you deserve, man. I'm kept behind the scenes, so there you go. Yeah, I'm going to tell my secretaries when they call, ask them if they're going to do like one-on-one interviews, group interviews with just the cast, and me, VJ, and the cast and all that stuff. And Peter and Guillermo del Toro, they interview them. Yeah, Ivan, we're going to do that behind. It's okay. It's okay if I film it, Ivan, you can film it. I'll bring 3 of my doctor with me, they can film it. But the main event, I'm not filming that. Mike, Peter, Guillermo del Toro, you gotta be ready. They're gonna drill you with a lot of questions, Yeah, I have no worry, but I'm used to this. I worked in Hollywood. I know how it works, Ivan. Yeah, Peter, you gotta give good answers when they ask you all these questions. They're gonna grill you, man. This is the best movie Children ever made. The biggest budget movie ever made. It's an IMDb movie, but they're gonna grill you. Yeah, Peter's like, Ivan, don't worry, I'll be ready. Ivan, man, can I get a bit more of that, Ivan? I'm like, no, Peter, I'm not paying you more, man. Stop being greedy. The alarm went off. Samsara? The fire alarm went off, guys. Excuse the noise. They burnt something in the oven, right? Yeah. So Peter Jackson, because he knows he's a billionaire, yeah, because Peter Jackson's a billionaire, and he knows he's much better than the actors, he feels like I'm ripping him off. He feels like he deserves a bit more of it. He wants his 2.53 million speaking because he's greedy. I'm like, Peter, I'm not paying more money, man. You're making way more than everyone else for this movie contract. You get an equal amount with the stars, man. And Guillermo del Toro and my president, you're not getting more money, so I'm being greedy. He's like, fine, whatever, man. I'm like, Peter, you're pissed off. Yeah, Ivan, man, I deserve a bit more this Ivan. I deserve a nice like $2.53 million this Ivan. I'm like, Peter, no, I'm not paying more money. That's not being greedy. In Hollywood, you make $75K, $200K for Comic Con. You're gonna make your like $1 million in speaking. Because he's greedy, he wants $2 million, $3 million in speaking. He's greedy, Peter. He wants a bigger chunk of that because he knows the world tour deal is a huge deal, the massive deal. He wants a bigger chunk of that. He's greedy, Peter. He's a greedy pig. Ivan, can I get more of that? I'm like, no, Peter, stop being greedy, man. You're not getting more money, man. I'm sorry. That's why he might tell me, Ivan, take a bigger cut of the percentage, Ivan. You should be taking like 80% of the money, Ivan, because he wants more money, Peter. I'm like, no, Peter, I'm taking 50. Stop being greedy, Samsara. Ivan, the fans are paying to see us. Why are you giving them 50% of the money? We should be taking like 80% of the money, Ivan. 85% of the money, Ivan. Because Peter knows if I take more money, he'll make more money. The actors will make their... If I take 80%, the actors will make their 2. Peter wants a bigger chunk of it. That's why he might tell me, Ivan, take like 85% of the money, Ivan. I'm like, no, Peter, they rented the venue. They got to make some good money. I'll take 50. I'll take half. They take the other half. Well, how about talk to VJ? Should we take more? VJ might tell me, Ivan, we should take like at least 75% of the money, Ivan. And if VJ says 75%, I might perhaps take 75%. But if I take more than 50, I'm being a bit too harsh. Because, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because me and VJ are going to make our billions off the movie merchant game. It doesn't hurt for these guys to make some good money for themselves, right? Well, I'm taking half the money. I'm not going to speak for free and have you profit on my success. The fans pay to see me, VJ, Peter, and the actors, as we're taking half the money. That's how it works. And some of the organizers might be pissed off. Ivan, what about 30%? I'm like, no, I'm taking half of your money, man. The fans are paying to see me, VJ, and the actors. I'm not going to let you do that and profit on my success. I'm taking half the money, and you guys take the other half. See, even though I'm greedy, I'm generous enough to let you guys get half of the money. But I'm taking the other half. See what I'm saying? That way, the people who rented the venue make some good money for themselves. Considering you and VJ are going to make your billions off movie merchant game, but I'm taking half the money. Yeah, that's how it works. Even for the book tour, if I go book touring, I'm taking half the money. If you have me interviewing in front of all these fans and they pay to see me, I'm taking half the money for the book tour too, because I might go touring for my book too, right? Yeah. Obviously. Som säger. Ja. Ja. So the speaking field is a huge deal. Oh yeah, it's like a 600,000, 800,000, even 1.1 million, 1.3 million deal. It's a lot of money, man. That's why the Hollywood actors are gonna make so much money off my speaking, off their speaking earnings, man. They get to go on that world tour with me and flying on my jet, staying at the luxury hotel suites, the limo services, all the parties. They're gonna have a blast, man. The crazy fans, they're getting paid a lot of money for it. That's why they're gonna beg, because my company will have the water. Comic Con, the actors make like 50, 75, 100K, 200K for Comic Con. For my company, for speaking, you make your like 800, 600, even most likely a million plus in speaking. A million, 2 million, 3 in speaking. That's a lot of money, man. Yeah, that's how much some actors make for their contracts for a movie in Hollywood. Yeah, that's how much you make for speaking alone. That's why Peter wants to bring a chunk of that, because he knows the deal's huge. It's a huge deal, the speaking field, the world tour, right? It's a huge deal. That's why Peter wants more money. He's greedy. I'm like, can I get a bit more of that? Like $2-3 million of that? I'm like, no, Peter, man, you get an equal amount of the actors. Stop being greedy. Some saying. Fine, Ivan. The $1 million is a lot of money. I want a bit more of that, Ivan. I know, Peter. Stop being greedy. Just know that I'm paying you a lot of money. Stop being greedy, Peter. Some saying. Yeah. Yeah. So John Mango will tell Oscar Isaac I'm driving Daisy with it. Yeah, you want speaking, John. Yeah, I signed a massive deal for speaking. I made like $1 million in speaking. John Mango tells Oscar Isaac I'm driving Daisy with that. You made $1 million for speaking, John? Yeah, man. Ivan's got me bulls out of the water. I made $1 million in speaking. Holy shit! Like that's how much some of us make for our movie. That's more than what's like Daisy Ray is like John. That's more than what I made for Force Awakens for my salary. Yeah, that's just for speaking alone. Yeah, but Ivan's called me bulls out of the water. I flew on his Incredibles private jet. He had us stay in luxury suites during the world tour. We had limo services. You know what I'm saying? We had all these parties and the crazy fans. His company blows out of the water, and the venue was packed. I had a blast, man. Yeah, holy shit, man. Looks like you had fun, John. Yeah, man. Ivan's company blows out of the water. Sky Source blows out of the water. They'll tell them that, John Mega. Yeah. Fuck, man. John, man, can you please give the bosses a good word for us, man? Please. I will, guys. Don't worry about it. It doesn't give word, John Mega. I'm not giving you word. If I ask you for word, doing your word either. I'm not giving you word. It doesn't give word, John Mega. He's selfish. Yeah. It's actually funny. Yeah. So Ivan, you're greedy. Yeah, I'm greedy, obviously, but I'm also generous. I'm generous enough to give the actors a good chunk of my money for the world tour. Even though me and VJ are going to make our $10 million, $11, $12 million in speaking, the actors make $1 million. That seems a bit small. I'm still nice enough to give them a nice piece of my money. They're making their $1 million in speaking. It's not the money me and VJ are making, but I'm nice enough to give them a nice piece of our money. Make sure they get paid well. I can easily be cheap and they only make maybe 80,000, 100, 200K. I'm giving them a nice piece of my money. That way they can make their 800 million, million three in speaking. But even though me and VJ made our 12 million, whatever it is, and we're making way more in them, there's a reason why I'm making way more in them, because we're the boss. That's why we're the main event. That's why we're making the most money. I'm so nice enough to give the actors a nice piece of my money. They're going to make their $1 million in speaking, 1.3 million in speaking. A lot of money. So I'm greedy, but I'm generous. I'm not greedy and cheap like Peter. Because Peter, for Lord of the Rings, he took all that treasure himself. The $250 million, he took it all for himself. And those Lord of the Rings actors made nothing, man. And Peter took all the money for himself, and he's a greedy pig. Yeah. Like Peter, man, I may be greedy, but I'm not like you, man. Like, for Lord of the Rings, you took all that treasure for yourself. You didn't share a piece of your money with anyone. You took it all for yourself, man. Because you're fucking greedy. And those actors worked their asses off for you, and they made nothing, man. You took all that money for yourself, Peter. You took all that treasure for yourself. Because Peter's a greedy pig, yeah. I didn't give them shit. That's my money. I know, Peter, it's your money, but man, like those Lord of the Rings actors deserved a good $1 million, 500K of your money, Peter, man. You took all that treasure for yourself, Lord of the Rings, man, because you're fucking greedy. Peter's a greedy pig. Don't say he's greedy. Yeah. It's actually funny himself. Yeah. You're greedy too, man. You and VJ are gonna make your blades off the movie merchant game. You're giving us peanuts. My Peter, don't play that game, man. I signed you to the biggest contract ever, director. You signed your $1.5 million deal. I'm greedy, but I'm very generous, man. I made sure all these Xanus stars got paid the big bucks, man. Even though it's pocket changes, compared to what me and VJ are making, they're still getting paid a lot of money, man. And I'm giving them a piece of my royalties too. And they sign a rich contract for the game too. Whereas you didn't give the actor a share for Lord of the Rings, man. You took all that treasure for yourself, Lord of the Rings, Peter. I'm not greedy and cheap like you. I'm greedy and generous. Whereas you're greedy and cheap. You took all that treasure for yourself, Lord of the Rings, and those actors worked their ass off for you, and they got nothing, man. Because you're fucking greedy, Peter. Yeah, he's a greedy pig. That's why Xanus will be the best brand in the anime industry. And will be the best book ever written. Anyways, guys, there's where I talked for an hour and 29 minutes. That's good enough. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Stay tuned. I'll make a video tomorrow after my shift at Coco Fruity, or I might make another video later on today in the evening, around maybe 6, 7 o'clock. This is Admer. I'm signing up. Peace, guys. Talk to you soon. Peace out. Hope you guys enjoyed the show.